Have you ever thought about starting your own podcast? It's so easy with Anchor.
Anchor is a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing your podcast. Best of all, it's 100% free and ridiculously easy to use.
And now, Anchor can match you with great sponsors who want to advertise on your podcast. That means you can get paid to podcast right away. In fact, that's what we're doing right now by reading this ad. We struggled to find the right way to distribute our podcast, and Anchor made it quick, easy, and free. We're on platforms we had never heard of, and that's all thanks to Anchor doing the hard work.
So, if you have been thinking about starting your own podcast, head on over to anchor.fm/start. That's anchor.fm/start.
Welcome back to Spilling the Mad Tea. We're so happy you're joining us today. I'm Kelly, and as always, I am joined by Rachel, Katie, and Stephanie. What have you guys been up to? Katie?
Well, I started a new job, so I've had a really busy week trying to learn everything that I need to learn for this new job. I was a little overwhelmed at first. I was like, oh, I'm never going to get all this information. But by the end of the week, I was doing my whole routine by myself. So, much better end of my week than start of my week. But I'm really enjoying myself and learning a lot. Stephanie, how are you?
Good. I just spent yesterday celebrating my great aunt's 95th birthday party. And I think she's got quite a few years left in her. And it was just a lot of fun to get the whole family together. We went to a great restaurant and then went swimming. And it was really a nice day. Rachel, how have you been doing?
Doing well. I went swimming today, and I got burnt, so I look like a lobster. And it was really nice. I went with one of the girls that I planned the cruise that we're going on with. So we kind of chatted about that and chatted about life and stuff. So she just bought a new house, so it was fun. And anyways, Kelly, what's up?
Nothing much. Working on some paintings today. But last night, my husband and I went to see the new Spider-Man Far From Home movie with some of our friends.
Yay!
Yeah, it was really good. I really enjoyed it. And I'm glad that I have Stephanie to talk about Marvel and Star Wars with, because the other two couldn't care less. So thank you, Stephanie.
Not sorry. Not sorry.
But anyway, so watching that last night kind of put a little question in my head that I wanted to ask the girls, kind of like a little pop quiz. So the world is ending. There's some huge threat from the sky or from somewhere. And you have to choose 3 Disney characters to defeat this threat and save the world. They can be from Star Wars, Pixar, Marvel, regular Disney stuff. So who would you choose? Rachel, I think you should go first.
Oh, great. I would choose Mr. Incredible because he's incredible. And then I would choose Elastigirl because they already work well together. And I would choose Buzz because not because he's a toy, but because he can fly.
That's falling with style.
Flying and falling.
So I am going to choose some characters with magic. First of all, great question, Kelly.
Thanks.
But I want magic to help defeat the world because what are superpowers compared to magic? So I'm going to pick... Well, okay, I just said that, but my first pick is going to be Hercules.
He's magical.
Huncules. Yeah, magically hot. And then I'm going to pick Merlin because he's Merlin and he has all the magical powers at his disposal. And then I'm going to pick the genie, but it's going to be the genie with his powers, not like free genie, which sounds kind of mean, but I'll free him at the end. I'll save a wish for I could just wish to win, and then I can free him. So I would choose to work the system. Steph, what about you?
I would pick Baymax to take care of everybody while they're very threatened. And I would pick Iron Man because, he's got a pretty good track record. And then I'd pick Maleficent because I agree, if we can have a little magic on our side, I don't think that would hurt. And she's a badass, and I think she'd kick anything's butt.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. Kelly, how about you?
So I'm going to go with T'Challa, the Black Panther. from Marvel. I'm going to go with Darth Vader, just to use the Force. And I'm going to go with Merida, because she's my favorite.
What's she gonna do against?
She's going to fire some arrows. She'll get like a high-powered bow and arrow set that like the arrows can't miss their target. The arrows hit their target. It's like Yondu's arrow from Guardians of the Galaxy that just like hits everything that she wants it to. Yeah.
Ah.
Pretending like you understand Marvel.
Yeah. So those are my three. I think they're pretty random, but I think it'll work.
Good question.
So anyway, yeah, with that fun little pop quiz over with, let's get into the topic of today's episode. Today we're going to be talking about all of the live action remakes of classic Disney animated movies that have been coming out and will be released soon. This episode's going to be full of our own opinions, and we'd love to hear yours. So to kick off this episode, I'm going to ask a little question. What has been your favorite live action remake that has come out so far? Rachel.
Aladdin. Forever Aladdin.
I wish I shared your opinion.
Oh my god.
I agree. I think it's Aladdin too. It was so good.
It was so good. I saw it twice, and I don't go to the movies, y'all.
And I'm in love with Aladdin.
Oh god, he is so cute.
Yeah, I think Aladdin definitely like exceeded the expectations I had for it, but I think like given the choice of watching like live action Aladdin or live action Beauty and the Beast, I'd pick Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Beauty and the Beast too, because there was just something off. I enjoyed Aladdin. I don't hate it. I would watch it again. I actually do want to watch it again, but there was just something kind of off about it to me.
Jafar.
Yeah, true. That's true. Okay, if I could change one thing about Aladdin, it would have been Jafar. I wasn't scared of him. I wasn't intimidated. Like, I didn't buy it.
He just got on my nerves.
Wearing a Jafar Halloween costume. Like, he did not. He wasn't scary. Like, he wasn't a good villain.
Yeah, I think some of the thing that was kind of odd to me, it felt like I was watching a play. The musical numbers, it was like everything stopped. Like the whole entire movie stopped for these musical numbers to happen. And they kind of didn't feel like they were organically incorporated into the movie for me, which kind of like pulled me out of watching a movie. But I still want to watch it again, so I don't hate it. But yeah, like what Stephanie said about Beauty and the Beast, that one is my favorite. So that's going to be my choice.
Now, do you think if I were to go back and watch the original like animated versions, if I was choosing between Aladdin and Beauty and the Beast, like Beauty and the Beast was like one of my favorite movies. So I don't wonder if I like the live action better because I liked the animated version better and I just like the story better. Kelly, are you a bigger animated Aladdin or Beauty and the Beast fan?
When I was little, I watched Aladdin repeatedly over and over. I still have. It's an old like glass doorknob that I don't know how old it is, but I called it my diamond in the rough, and I took it like a lot of places with me. So I loved Aladdin. That was like one of my favorite movies growing up. But I did really like Beauty and the Beast too, but I would choose Aladdin animated. So I don't know if that has any factoring into that. I think what I liked about Beauty and the Beast live action was that it filled in some plot holes and answered some questions that you had from watching the animated one. So I think that, and like combined with the music and stuff, made it my favorite.
Yeah.
See, Aladdin was is my favorite animated of forever.
So do you think that's why the new Aladdin is also your favorite?
Probably. It probably has a big part of it, but it's like that, and then it's like two. Like you take if you want to use like visualize a staircase, please, and you put Aladdin on one stair, and then you put Beauty and the Beast on the next stair. That's about how close they are. They're very close, but shut up!
I like your visual.
I mean, it shows you how close they are.
But are they big steps? Are they little steps?
They're basic
steps.
They're basic as fuck steps. Okay. And I like them both. But Aladdin I don't go to the movies, and I saw it twice. I will repeat that. And it was just that freaking wonderful.
See, Aladdin's not even, I mean, I love Aladdin, but it's not ever been like my favorite animation anyway. Mm-hmm. But like, it is definitely my favorite live action.
it's
like, I think the live action brought it to life so much, and I was really worried about it because like I love Robin Williams, and I was really worried about Will Smith portraying him as Genie, but I think he did an excellent
he
job.
did fantastic. I was very
Yeah,
impressed by
he
him
like made
doing
it
Genie.
his own, which I think was important, but still had some kind of like callbacks and references to Robin Williams' Genie. So I thought he did a really good job. Yeah, I like that we're kind of just split. You can definitely tell that we like Beauty and the Beast and Aladdin. Like we don't all have different answers. So those are two good ones. So I have a little list typed out for the girls to read, and from that list, you guys can choose. What live action remake are you most looking forward to in the next couple of years?
Mulan! I mean, we talked about her a little bit in our underrated princesses episode, and I think she's the most underrated princess in the Disney vault. So I am so excited for her to like be reimagined as like the badass she is and get like the recognition she deserves. I'm stoked.
I am a little upset that Mushu's not going to be in it. They didn't have to bring him back in like a comedic role even, but just like having the Guardian there with her would have been cool. I'm fine with Shang not even being in it. Like that's cool, but I am going to miss Mushu. I'm still excited. I'm still really excited for that.
I have 3 because I can't choose just one, but Mulan is definitely, I'm so excited. It's different. I'm looking forward to it because it's going to be different. I think that's one of the most exciting things about that movie coming out is that it's not going to be a rinse and repeat of the animated movie.
Yeah.
I also put Sword in the Stone because I absolutely love that movie and I watched it a lot when I was little. And I love Merlin and Arthur, their little friendship. I think it's really cool. And I would like to see that. And I feel like it's underrated and not a lot of people watch it or anything. So it getting like a new breath will be really nice. And then I also put The Little Mermaid because of the casting that has recently come out has actually got me excited about watching it. It's not going to be like a rinse and repeat. I hope not.
It's a super talked about thing too because it's so controversial for no reason.
Yeah, it's not controversial. To me, it's not controversial. It's a fictional character. She can be any race that she wants to be. I don't know. So I'm excited about it. I'm looking for like all the casting that has come out so far for that. It looks really interesting, and I will definitely go see it.
I would see Little Mermaid too for sure.
I would say Sword in the Stone is the one I'm most excited about, just because I love like period pieces anyway. So I'm really excited to see what Disney does for that.
I did a little bit more research today, and there's a couple of these like live action remakes that have been announced that will most likely be going directly to Disney Plus and not getting like a theatrical release. So I think that's kind of cool. There was Sword in the Stone, I think Lilo and Stitch maybe. This is just some random fun facts that I looked up today. But the person who is writing the live action Lilo and Stitch wrote The Conjuring.
Interesting.
What?
You're doing what now? Yeah, so I thought that was kind of weird.
Oh, I bet you Stitch is going to be scary as hell.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that, but I'll definitely watch it if it's on Disney Plus. So, Rachel, did you say what you were looking forward to?
No, I didn't say it, but I'm looking for. Okay, since we've done this freaking outline, my decisions have changed.
They don't know that.
I mean, I know, but whatever. Anyway, so The Lion King, I am excited about. What I've seen more of it, I'm still gonna go see it next week, but whatever, because I like the movie. But like when we made the outline, because newsflash, we make outlines, guys, and Aladdin was on the list, but I said I'm really worried about it, and then after I saw it, I'm not worried about it anymore. But that's what I really was looking most forward to, Aladdin, but it's here. Mulan's going to be good. It's going to be good. It's going to be different, but I think it's going to be a good different.
I listened to another podcast about animation and like animated films that come out. And one of the guys used to work for Disney, and he's like a entertainment journalist, and he's got like a lot of friends who work in Disney Studios, and he says everybody who's like seen parts of Mulan says like this one movie is like worth all of the other live action remakes. He's like this is gonna be
fantastic.
Like, like this one's gonna everyone says it's like awesome. So I'm so excited.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that one. And I think I have the release date for that. It comes out, I wrote it down, March 27th, 2020, so next year. At the time of this recording, The Lion King has not come out in theaters yet, but by the time you are hearing this, The Lion King will have been out for like 2 days. So we don't have opinions on Lion King yet, just because we haven't jumped to the future to see that. But by the time you're listening to this, it will be out, and we might have opinions.
We can share those on Instagram if you want. Do you know that I forgot to say this too when we were talking about the ones that we really liked? I also really liked Cinderella because didn't nobody damn say it.
Yeah, I like Cinderella.
I haven't seen it.
It's good.
Oh, you haven't?
I have not.
Oh,
seen
it's
it. Y'all know I don't watch a lot of movies anyway.
Yeah.
So,
Are there any live action remakes that you've been disappointed by?
Can I go first?
Sure,
Okay, because I'm passionate.
but you're wrong. You're also
I'm
wrong.
not wrong. Okay, Beauty and the Beast, I'm not the biggest fan of, y'all. I just ain't. It could be because when I went to see it in theaters, I had a really bad experience. Like the sound was too loud and it really, really like distracted me from watching the movie. And so that was unfortunate. But I watched it again when it came on Netflix and I liked it better, but I still didn't like it enough to like watch it and watch it and watch it. The animated one, when I was a kid, it was my favorite. It was magical to me and it just wasn't that magical.
Okay, I would say the one that I was a little disappointed by was The Jungle Book. I don't know. I feel like this was one of the earlier live actions. And like I was never like a huge Jungle Book fan to begin with. So I wasn't really craving a live action remake of this movie. Like I was just really like surprised by all of like the voice casting. Like it just didn't like I remember when Christopher Walken started talking, I was like, what the hell are you doing in the middle of the jungle? Like Christopher Walken does not belong in the middle of the jungle. Or like, I don't know. It just seemed like I don't know anybody who like asked for a Jungle Book remake. And I like anything that like Jon Favreau does. So like it's still fine. Like it's a good movie. But it was just weird. Like it was just weird.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I thought it was weird that King Louis was gigantic.
Yes.
Yeah, when all the other animals were kind of in proportion to like Mowgli's size and like what they would actually be, and then you just have this gigantic orangutan voiced by Christopher Walken, like,
yeah.
And him singing that song is so weird.
He was almost scary. Like I was like, because I recently have just watched this, and it was like I liked it. But like, because I watched it, actually, I've caught the tail end of it again and like watched it too. So it's not like something that I will never watch again. But it was just, he was scary. And like, if I was little, I would be scared of him.
So here are my thoughts on Jungle Book. Because I actually had this listed as one of my favorites. Like, I kind of agree with all of your points. But the animals were so very well animated.
Yeah,
it was just like, it was a beautiful movie. Like, yes, it was weird that the orangutan was gigantic, but it was so realistic and accurate. I was like, oh, I was watching it in the theater with Cameron, and I was like, Cam, look, oh my God, like, look at those cheek pads, and look, that's exactly how an orangutan would behave. Like, they really did their research on their animals.
I do agree with that. I think it is beautiful, and I think that about all of these live action movies, actually. Like, whether or not I like them, they are stylistically lovely to look at and like very interesting, and there's always something drawing your eye, whereas animation can sometimes be a little flat. Like these are not that. So like regardless of how I feel about the story and how they portray it, like the stylistically they are beautiful, and the animation
absolutely
in the quote unquote live action like is pretty spectacular.
I just think that it's interesting how like this was one of the first ones that they did, and like I was like, is Jungle Book that popular? Like, do people like it that much for them to do that first?
There was actually another live action Jungle Book, and I think I've talked about this before, in 1994. There was also, like, there was live actions before, like, this new wave of live action. There was the 101 Dalmatians.
Which was so good. Yeah. Oh, my God.
So, I mean, we've gotten, like, hints at this, like, live action remake kind of thing, but now I feel like we're just, like, in the era of live action remakes. And I think the one that I've been disappointed by, I didn't really care for the live action Alice in Wonderland movie. I only saw the first one. I haven't seen the second one because I didn't really care for the first one. I think that it just kind of dragged on a bit, but like you guys said, it was visually a really like cool film to watch, but like the substance of it, I didn't really care for too much.
See, I liked those. I liked both of those. I actually, like, when Josh and I when we first met, the second one was coming out, and I was like, I need this movie, and he bought it for me, and it was fantastic. I liked them though.
Yeah, I think
thought
like
they were good.
like I can appreciate like Tim Burton as an artist and like what he does to these movies. I think is very interesting, and I think like I really enjoy watching the Mad Hatter and the Queen of Hearts in those films. I just think like the
Yeah.
casting is really cool, and their portrayals of the characters is really really fun. But yeah, it's not really my cup of tea.
Pun.
I've always had a love-hate relationship with Alice in Wonderland ever since the was it on ABC Family, the like live series that they
Oh, it was ABC Wonderland. Was that what you're talking about?
Yeah, and it just made me very uncomfortable. And so the Tim Burton Alice in Wonderlands kind of made me feel that like it was the same kind of vibe for me. So like while I could appreciate that they were very like well done artistically, I don't enjoy watching that. I think I've only seen the first one.
Yeah, I would just choose to watch the animated
Right.
Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah, I would much
versus
rather
those.
watch the animated.
So, what movie would you guys love to see recreated in live action that currently hasn't been released or like announced or in the works?
I want a Hercules.
That'd be so good.
Right? There was a show from Universal Television from 95 to 99 with Kevin Sorbo in it, and it was amazing. I used to watch it all the time. It was on around the same time that Xena was on, and they did like some crossover things
Yes.
with that.
Yeah.
Yes.
used to
And
watch that a lot,
I
too.
loved it so much. Like it wasn't made for kids, but like as a kid I even liked it. So I think a Hercules movie live action would be amazing.
I keep seeing people like post these pictures as if they're like official Disney releases of like a cast of Hercules, and it's like people just like choosing who they would like. I'm like, that's not official, and then it gets spread around, and everybody's like, oh my god, they're making a Hercules, and blah blah blah. I hate this casting.
Don't you tease me.
Yeah, and people are like, I hate this casting, and it's like, it's not real. Like that's just made up. Nobody's casting people. Yeah, I personally would love to see the Black Cauldron.
Yes.
Yeah, it came out in 1985 and was quickly forgotten about, but I think it could be so cool done in live action because it's in the same kind of realm as like a Sword in the Stone kind of feel. It's like fantasy and like old, like medieval-y kind of bits with some evil horned king thrown in there. That's kind of scary. So I think it'd be really cool to see that done in live action and to bring that story out of obscurity.
I think especially in the age of like Game of Thrones and that genre really becoming mainstream and very popular, I think it's the perfect time to try and resurrect the Black Cauldron from its poor forgotten state into an awesome live action. Because it's a great movie. Black Cauldron's one of my favorite animated
I enjoy
movies.
it. I think it'd be really awesome.
I personally have never seen that movie.
Well, I have it. You can come over and watch it.
Great.
It's fantastic.
Movie night.
I bought it for myself on DVD one Christmas. Like I put it on my wish list, and no one bought it for me because they were all like, "What the hell is a Black Cauldron?" And so after Christmas, I was like, "Add to the cart, send to me."
So one of the like issues I had with the live action Cinderella was that like I didn't believe it. Like it just everything seemed like a little too fake for like live action. I'm like, in animation, like fake is okay. Like it's okay for it to be like fantasy and made up and animated and it's magic. But for live action, I wasn't buying it. I was like, nah. However, I would really love to see a live action Pocahontas.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't want it to be like too believable. Like I don't want it to be a documentary. I kind of want to see it in like the style of Cinderella with bright colors and like almost like that air of fantasy and like fairy tale in it.
Interesting.
I think that would be really cool.
Yeah,
I would be 100% behind this because Pocahontas is my girl. Like I love me some her.
Right?
it's a great time for a good environmentalist message, and you can fit that in seamlessly in Pocahontas.
Yeah, I feel like if there was a remake of Pocahontas, I would want it to go the route that Mulan has and go a little bit actually like historically accurate maybe, but I don't know.
Maybe a good mix of both.
Yeah.
I think historically accurate Pocahontas is kind of boring though. I don't think it would make a good movie.
And
I
sad.
want Disney Pocahontas. Yeah. Yeah, it would be very like somebody else could make that one.
Yeah.
That's not like Disney. They don't like own the story of Pocahontas. So
Yeah, because like as soon as I said that, I thought about the leaves that blow in the color of the wind, and like I love that sequence
Right.
so much that would be really cool to see brought to live action. So maybe they could just kind of
Right, but you wouldn't want it to just be like brown leaves blowing through the wind. Like you would like that's why I think like in the style of Cinderella with like bright colors and you're just like everything just like slightly out of place and like really like fantastical would be fun.
I'm agreeing with you a little bit more now. Like when you said Pocahontas, I was like, yes, like Mulan, like make it. But now, yeah, I could see that. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, right. Because I had it written down on my outline, and I was like, "Wait, live action Pocahontas? That would be like that might be kind of boring." Like, yeah, it's sad and depressing. It's like you definitely have. I think you would have to keep it a musical to keep it like lighthearted and fun and whimsical and beautiful and
Yeah,
in
I
my
could see
opinion.
that.
It would definitely be good though. I would be here for that. I think it would be another double trip to the
Mhm.
movies for me.
Yeah, I love Pocahontas has such a special place in my heart because little 5-year-old me
See,
loved it.
28-year-old me loves it, so it's okay.
See, that's what I'm like. Don't more people like Pocahontas than like the Jungle Book?
Yeah,
And like
definitely.
and like Hercules over the Jungle Book? Like why? I don't know why the Jungle Book was made, but okay.
I would say for me, I would like a Sleeping Beauty one. Is that a thing? Did I read it or not read it up here?
I think it's just Maleficent stuff.
Okay, cool. So my thing is like I think that they could do a really good like both like a double other side of Maleficent, like and make it the Sleeping Beauty live action because I'm a Maleficent fan, the movie. So I am 10,000% excited for the next one. I think that it would be cool to see everything in Sleeping Beauty be live action because it would be like we said with about Pocahontas, it would be really bright colors and stuff like that. Like because she'll be in the forest and she'll be here and there, and I think that would be a good one to watch.
I would love to see them expand more on like the in between, like
Yeah.
between when she's cursed and she turns 16.
A lot of backstory to that, yeah, for sure.
See, I love Sleeping Beauty so much because of Ivan Earl's artwork in the background. He is one of my, if not my favorite artist, he is one of my favorite artists. So if they did a live action Sleeping Beauty, I would want his artwork and his style incorporated into that somehow, and I just don't see how that'd be possible. I'll have to post some pictures to go along with this episode of some of his artwork. It's beautiful. And I don't know how that would translate into live action. But it would be cool if they could figure out some way to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So now we're going to get into a bit of discussion. I didn't have you guys like write out answers for this just because I wanted just to chit chat about this. Again, this is all of our opinions. If you disagree, that's totally fine. Do you think a movie can be classified as live action if everything is done in CGI? Examples like The Lion King and The Jungle Book.
No!
And things like that.
No.
But the Jungle Book did have human characters, and I think that's why it can be
It
considered.
had like 3.
Still counts.
But they were still live
I guess so.
actors versus Lion King, which is literally all computer generated. Like it's not. There's no human acting.
Yeah. I had talked earlier about not making an effort to go see The Lion King, and I think that kind of solidified for me when I saw Aladdin, and something about, I know that they did the CGI because they don't want to use actual animals, but the CGI Abu and Raja, something about them kind of just put me off of like the CGI animal thing. So then after I finished watching Aladdin, I was like, well, I don't really care to go see The Lion King at all. It's just
They do it so well though because like Katie said with the Jungle Book, like they're so true to the animal that they're portraying. Like
See, but I think that only applies to Jungle Book. Every other CGI animal in Disney movies, I have been disappointed with as well. Like Abu really disappointed me, even though he was cute. Like Cameron kept going, like, "What kind of capuchin is that supposed to be?" And I was like, I don't know. It's like there's not a species, like there are already animals out in the world that are very cute and beautiful, and you could have just recreated them, and they didn't do that. And I've seen some of the stills from Lion King, and I'm just not thrilled about it. I'm very apprehensive about Lion King. I'm gonna go see it because it's my husband's favorite.
well, they very well could have. I mean, you've just seen the pieces of it. It very well could be done just like the Jungle Book, though. Like the animals, I feel like in Aladdin, they were not the main part of the movie. Like they were just like characters in the background. Like I know that they have big parts, but they're not like the main characters. Like, I feel like they would have to do they would have to make it seem a little more realistic with it being Simba's the main character in The Lion King.
Yeah, I think it's just, which I mean, I haven't seen the movie, so this is just my own like bias going into it. It's just a reanimated Lion King, which why? Like, unless they change something with the story majorly, if there's a whole new plot in there, like, why? That's my biggest question with The Lion King coming out. It's just why.
Yeah.
It's just, look how far computers have come.
Yeah. Which they showed that off in Toy Story 4. They showed off how good their animation is in Toy Story 4. We don't need a Lion King. That's just a reanimated rinse and repeat of the animated one.
I will say, I think if we're not like that keen on the movie, like if anything, like the music should be great.
Yeah, I guess so. I really do like Donald Glover, and I don't know. I feel like the cast that they got is pretty cool.
Yeah. I love Donald Glover, but I think Beyonce is completely overrated.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. It's a very unpopular opinion.
Yeah, like I just think she was cast for the Beyonce factor. I think they really could have gotten someone more suited to be Nala instead of Beyonce as Nala.
And once again, all of this information is coming before the movie comes out. We have not seen
We're
it.
going to record next week and eat all of our words. And that we're going to be like, that was amazing.
Yeah.
Beyonce's the best. That's why I'm not saying anything, because I'm like, I haven't seen it yet. I do not want to spread my opinion to the universe yet.
Our opinions change, people grow and change, and that's important, and they're supposed to do that. So if our opinions have changed, we'll post on Instagram about our changed opinion. But as of right now, we're going in with a major bias against this movie. So,
I'm not going in with anything.
3 out of 4 of us are going in with a major bias against this movie.
I'm going in with one arm full of bias and one arm full of popcorn.
Hey!
Okay, so moving along for that little kind of a bit of a rant. What types of movies would you like to see Disney put out? Original, new stories, hand-drawn animation, computer generated, live action? What do y'all want to see?
I really loved, I mean, like, we grew up in during the second wave of Disney animation.
The Renaissance.
Yeah,
Disney Renaissance.
Yeah, with great movies like Little Mermaid, Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast, killer. But I also think Disney really had a great couple of years with Princess and the Frog and Tangled. I thought those movies were so
oh my god,
good.
yes.
Yeah. Princess and the Frog was the last hand-drawn animation.
Yeah.
And I love it.
I don't think it looked outdated. It was still very current. It was so good. That's one of my favorite Disney movies. And I think I would love to see more hand-drawn animation.
Totally with you.
I'm okay with a variety of I love the hand-drawn animation, but I'm okay with some CGI and some live action as long as the stories were original. I'm tired of the remakes of the same things. Give me some original stories.
And I think we talked about this a lot during our sequels episode too. In the same way that I'd rather see a new story created instead of a sequel. I'd rather see a new story created. I don't care what form it's in, rather than a reimagined live action.
That's why I liked Pixar for so long, because not that I don't like them now, but because Pixar for such a long time was putting out consistently new. It was all original. And then, you had some Toy Story sequels for a little, they were very stretched out. But now it's Pixar comes out with something and then it's immediately 2, 3, 4 years down the road, here's a sequel and here's a sequel. So even that's even seeped into Pixar, which is
I will always go 100% for a new original story and hand-drawn animation. As an artist myself, I do everything by hand. If you ask me to do something digitally, I get grumpy about it and it takes me forever to do it because I don't like doing stuff digitally. I just admire the hand. I know that a ton of work goes into the CG animation. I know that. But if you compare Frozen and Moana, they look very similar. They're 2 completely different stories, but they have that similar kind of look to them. If you compare Beauty and the Beast and Sleeping Beauty, they look so different. I feel like we've kind of lost that era of these movies looking different. And something that kind of recently brought me into okay, maybe CG animation could be okay is Into the Spider-Verse, the animated Spider-Man movie. The animation in that is so different and so fantastic. So I think I just want original stuff. I don't know whether it's done in CG, which I think that's how everything's going to be done now. you can still take CG and make it look different, make each movie look different. That was one of Walt's original goals with with the movies that were being made while he was alive. He wanted each to have its own different style and feel. 101 Dalmatians has like a very sketchy kind of look. They didn't clean all the animation up completely, so it has like the sketchy look. Sleeping Beauty, which I could go on and on about, has such a beautiful, like, illustration-wise look to it, and they were just different. So I miss that.
Yeah, I agree.
I think we just live in a world today where these big production studios are just they need to make sure they make money, and make a lot of money. They're putting so much money into the production of these that I think they want a sure hit, and they know that if they do Moana in the style of Frozen, people are gonna go see it.
One of the things I did notice when I went to see Toy Story 4 in theaters, we were watching the trailers. And trailers are one of my favorite parts of the movie. I absolutely love watching the trailers. But before Toy Story 4, there was a string of trailers that obviously are targeted to kids. They're just this brightly colored garbage just spewed out of these production companies. And then the trailer for Frozen 2 came on and I got goosebumps. And I was like, this is something that Disney does right. They don't just make their movies for children. You could immediately tell the difference. There was a trailer for something about the Arctic, some dumb animals in the Arctic, not live action, something. I don't even remember.
Damn, Kelly! It's about dumb animals.
The trailer for Frozen 2 came on and I was like, Disney does this right. It had your attention. That was the trailer.
Coming soon, dumb animals in the Arctic. It's not global warming. They're just dumb.
Oh, boy.
I heard it here first.
The real animals in the Arctic are not dumb. Whatever this trailer was, it was garbage, and those were the dumb animals in the Arctic. Anyway, the trailer for Frozen 2 came on, and then the trailer for Pixar's Onward that's supposed to be coming out came on, and you could just tell the difference in the way the story was shaped and the way that it's being marketed, that it's not just being marketed for entertainment for kids for an hour and a half. Disney does do a really good job at making movies for everyone to enjoy. And I really noticed that when I was sitting in the theater watching the trailers before Toy Story 4. That's it. That's my rant. This has been a very ranty episode for me, and I'm not going to apologize for it because I already told you guys it's my opinion, so whatever.
I don't really know what I would like Disney to do, but something new. I like new stuff.
I definitely want Elsa to have a girlfriend in the sequel.
That would be pretty cool.
Y'all, I am just not that excited about Frozen 2.
Well, you don't like any Frozens.
I'm pumped.
Yeah, I'm so excited for Frozen 2.
I liked the movie. The movie was just fine, but I'm just we don't have to have another one.
I think we do. I think this one's going to be real good. I'm looking forward to it. It looks like it's got some mythological things and some mystical rocks.
I mean, I will go to see it because I want to see all the movie. Now that I've decided I like going to the movies again, I will actually go. But I don't mind to go see it, which I will, but
this is turning into sequels episode part 2. So anyway, we're going to wrap this up. We'd love to hear y'all's opinions on Disney live action remakes. It's totally okay if you disagree with us. I think I've said that plenty of times throughout this episode. And I know that sometimes I get a little frustrated with the continuing announcements of live action remakes, but then I remembered that the beloved animated classics are always there. Nobody's taking those away to replace them with the live action. You can like both and enjoy both, or hate one and then love the other. It's fine. Just do what you want to do. So do you agree with our answers? We want to hear from you, and here's how you can let us know what you're thinking.
Email us at spillingthemadtea@gmail.com.
You said it please don't, but email us at gmail.com.
I mean, nobody's going to do it anyway.
You guys should prove Rachel wrong and send us an email at spillingthemadtea@gmail.com.
Rachel's in charge of the email if you really want some email.
It can just be an email that says sequels rock or live action sucks. Just prove her wrong.
Email us and tell me about the stupid animals in the Arctic movie.
Or tweet us your favorite live action remake at Spilling Mad Tea.
Don't forget to follow us on Instagram, where we'll probably be eating our words next week about The Lion King, and Facebook at Spilling the Mad Tea.
Thank you all so much for joining us and listening to our opinions and our rants, and we look forward to talking with you guys real soon. Bye!
Bye!
Goodbye.